Welcome to episode 365 of the Geeks for the Win podcast, the tech and gaming show from the geeksforthewin.com, where we cover all things geeky. I'm your host, William McDonald, and I'm joined with my co-host, Stuart.
Known across the internet as Casual Terror.
Alrighty, this might be a shorter show.
Looks like it. Yep, short show, but that's okay.
That's fine. What have you been up to though, Stuart? Extra Life was this past weekend.
Extra Life was this past weekend. And I did my 24 hours. I did I did 12 hours on Saturday and 12 hours on Sunday. And I didn't play near as many games as I expected I would. I really only played 3 games. That was it. Started off.
So you played 2.
Well, every year I always start off by playing an hour of Team Fortress 2.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
I've done it since the beginning. So, an hour of Team Fortress 2. Then I moved on to the campaign of Call of Duty. And it's an okay campaign. It's something about Call of Duty just makes me turn my brain off. And I don't care.
There was some dark shit.
And I didn't care. I was like, this is, you know, like if this was in another game, it would have more of an impact to me. But it's Call of Duty, and I'm just
surprised we hadn't heard any of the stuff, like the stuff that I watched you play through. Some of that stuff was like, I'm surprised people are upset about white phosphorus gas, but they're outraged.
They're okay
by that,
with little girls stabbing guys with scissors.
Yeah, and like some of that stuff was just, oh my god, it was horrifying to watch.
I guess any other game it would have affected me, but because it was Call of Duty, I just didn't care. It just didn't affect me whatsoever. I don't know what that says about me. It's like there's this whole waterboarding scene, and where you are actively being waterboarded, and I was like, okay, it's a mini game, okay. Yeah, and you have to turn away from the water to breathe and all of that, but I don't know. Maybe that's harder to do on controller, but on mouse and keyboard, like that was just way too easy. Because I was just like flip, 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 flip. Like it was just just going from one side to the other. It just. Yeah, I turn my brain off, and just like things don't affect me like the way they should, and that disturbs me somewhat. But like I said, in any other game, this would have affected me a lot more than it did. I don't know. But the other game that I played quite a bit and have continued to play quite a bit of is The Outer Worlds. I fucking love this game. I fucking love The Outer Worlds. Are you there?
There we go. Like this Discord froze for me, and
okay.
Weird.
Okay. Well, okay. The Modern Warfare campaign took me about 5 hours. So by this point, I'm 6 hours into my 24 hours, and I spent the rest of that time playing The Outer Worlds.
Yep.
Like I finish off the first day playing the Outer Worlds, and I play the entire second day playing the Outer Worlds. I fucking love this game, and I've continued to play the Outer Worlds. How far have you made it? Because probably farther than you by this point.
Oh yeah, you're a lot farther than me. I haven't gotten that far at all, unfortunately.
Have you made it to Monarch?
No.
Okay. Because there's something that happened to me that kind of is a bit frustrating, but it was my own damn fault.
Okay.
I'm going to try to explain this to you kind of as spoiler free as possible. To get to Monarch, you have to talk to this sweet old lady. And like she's this black market dealer. Who just happens to have the landing codes to Monarch, or to Stellar Bay in Monarch. And in order to do that, you have to oh, okay, William just distracted me by something very odd.
I'm sorry. I saw this and it just
Japanese Spider-Man confirmed for Spider-Man Intro into the Spider-Verse sequel.
Yeah.
Please tell me that he summons the robot.
The 1970 Japanese
The
live action
Spider-Man.
Yes.
Who uses a morpher.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is something to behold.
It's some of the weirdest things. I've seen clips of this.
Yes.
And it's so weird. But, sorry for derailing the show. I'm just trying to look for some news, make sure we didn't miss anything.
Well, anyway, in order you have to do this. You have to look into this thing for her to get the landing codes to Stellar Bay, and that involves you going back to Terra 2 to another area, to another town, and the town name is escaping me completely. And you have to do one of three things, and I did all three. But what I failed to realize, because there's these three different quests that you can do. I did all three, but what I didn't realize is you're not supposed to turn in the damn quests to the people who gave you the quests. You're supposed to take what they want you to get to the old lady. Okay. I didn't realize this. So I did all the quests for diet toothpaste and all that.
Diet toothpaste. I've heard about the diet toothpaste.
It's the diet toothpaste quest, yes. But so because I gave them to the people who gave them to me, I now had to pay for the landing codes, which were 10,000 bits.
Ooh,
it's quite a bit of money, quite a bit. And also, just before this, I unlocked the ability to tinker on work tables. Which tinkering allows you to basically take your weapons and armor using bits and just levels them up. Like, just takes them up another level. So they become better. You can actually kind of hold on to your weapons that you have modded out just a little bit longer. You can take on things with ease. Well, because I did that, I spent quite a bit of bits just leveling up my armor and weapons. So I had well over 10,000 bits at one point, and then I discovered tinkering and spent all of my money doing that. And so I had to come up with 10,000 bits. And hey, guess what does not respawn? Enemies, items. None of that respawns.
Items make sense because that's just like Fallout game. Like you loot an area, you loot a house, the stuff's
Right,
not
but
gonna
it makes it
respawn
very
in that
hard to
house.
do when you need money.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, okay, enemies do respawn after 3 days. Like you have to sleep for 3 days. And then items or enemies in the wilderness respawn. Like if you go into like buildings that have that are actually a separate area, they're all still dead. So I'm going around everywhere just picking up every little bottle and thing I could find so I can sell. And that was just a pain in the ass. So word of warning, when you get that quest from the little old sweet late 80, don't turn them all in. Because otherwise you would have to pay 10,000 bits.
Gotcha.
And I want to go back even farther. Last week you were talking about the city of Edgewater. You have 3 things you can do there. What did you do? I'm curious on what you did.
I cut. I went with the main town. What is it, Edgewater?
Uh-huh.
Where I diverted the power away from the what are they called? Not abandoners, but deserters.
The deserters.
Deserters, and then I convinced what's his name to step down and let
Okay,
the
you did the
leader of
exact
the
same thing I did.
yeah. So it's like,
Okay.
you could go with one side or you go with the other, or you can kind of mix, you know,
Right.
kind of go
Yeah,
both ways.
you did the exact same thing I did. And this game really gives me a Firefly feel. Like the
It
music
really does.
it really helps because you get a guitar brrr, like the I forget what it's called when you just kind of bow when you kind of slide your finger down a string and then bow it. I forget what it's called, but it really gives me a Firefly feel. And I even like as soon as I met Parvati, I'm like, oh, you're Kaylee. There's no doubt about it. You are Kaylee.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And the dude who was running Edgewater, that was Badger. Like I saw that dude as Badger. So, and of course they definitely took references from Firefly, and you can tell, because there was like if you look in your ship's hull, it's kind of laid out very similar to the Firefly hull. Like where you got the whole the holding area down below, and then you got a kind of a balcony up above, very similar to Firefly.
Yeah.
And even sometimes when you go back into your ship, you'll find cows, which is a reference to Firefly. Yeah, but I freaking love the Outer Worlds.
It's good. I need to jump back into that and play more of it.
And I've probably put maybe well over 20 hours into this game already. And there are still like 4 or 5 planets or areas that I cannot get to yet.
Wow. Yeah,
So
it's
because also I'm doing fucking everything. Like I'm not
yeah.
leaving. Like I am doing everything possible. And
It's not as big as like a Fallout game, but it's still pretty big.
it's big, yeah. Like Monarch is the biggest planet that I've been to. Like it probably is the biggest planet in the game. Because like in like the other planets are it was like maybe like 2 or 3 fast travel points. Monarch has well over 20. Like it's a large place. And I was about I'm to the point in the story where I'm about to leave Monarch, and then something big happens, like right as you're about to leave. So that's kind of where I'm at for people who have played.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that
I stopped watching because you had gotten farther than I did, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be spoiled, and I was
right.
like, oh, I'll wait till he hits me up and about playing like Apex or something else, and
Yeah, and then I blinked and it was already I was done. I'm like, "Oh, oops. I
yeah.
didn't get in touch with William."
I thought about like sending you a message being like, hey, you wanna? And I was
Oh,
like, yeah, I'm
you
just gonna.
absolutely should have, and I would have like, "Okay, yeah." And I would have jumped off. But
We were having
yeah, that
fun
did
though
it didn't
with
yeah,
Outer Worlds, so
I got sucked in. So, and I haven't really played much of anything else. Like I haven't played Call of Duty since I started playing Outer Worlds. I have. We should definitely check out Duos sometime this weekend
oh yeah, definitely.
because the Duos is going on. I haven't done that at all. So, but honestly, that's it for me. What about you?
Let's see, what have I been up to?
Other than playing StarCraft 2.
uh, technically I didn't play it. I just had it running. Because if anyone's not aware, there's a app. It's in the Windows Store, like on for Windows 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Omen Command Center, and Omen is like was it HP's like
Yes.
gaming brand or whatever, and you have to create like an HP account or whatever to use it, but they have stuff like today they had get a $5 Target gift card for playing 30 minutes of StarCraft 2. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna like in others the StarCraft 2 is kind of a weird one because the other ones I've seen were like PUBG or League of Legends or Apex Legends
Mm-hmm.
or Fortnite. More popular games like that. Um, I guess StarCraft 2 is popular, but I wouldn't put it on the same level as the other ones I listed. Those are
Right.
like
They're not ones you hear about anymore. Like StarCraft 2 is not really one you hear about.
Yeah, but you have the program open. You click like you'll look on the reward section, whatever, and you'll click like start, and you'll have like 24 hours to actually do the challenge. They call them challenges. And so you just open the game up, and it just tracks you. Like it, and I had StarCraft 2 up for 30 minutes, which I was kind of shocked to see StarCraft 2 was free.
Yeah, I remember it did go free.
Yeah, so like great, you know. Um, there was one for PUBG earlier this week. I just could not get it to like I've been having Steam issues. Like I could not get Steam. I would download PUBG and it wouldn't appear in like my start menu, like when you click start and you go to like, you know, all your list of programs and stuff, and you go down to Steam and you click on that, and then you see all the games that are downloaded through Steam, for example,
Hmm.
and then you can like pin it to your like, like the tabs or whatever, stuff like that. It just wouldn't. It just wasn't there. That, and I was having like downloading issues, like it wouldn't download right, or like I couldn't log into like I couldn't log into what's it called? Like I would log into Steam, but when I would try to like say view wish list or add something to a wish list, for example, it would say like
Hmm.
log in, and I would click the login, and it would be like error communicating with Steam servers, and I'm like, but I'm
Mm.
logged into Steam. I can see my library. I don't know. I've been having some weird Steam issues, and I've uninstalled Steam and downloaded it and reinstalled it numerous times, and it's been so I wasn't able to get the one for PUBG, which I was gonna actually play PUBG for like the 30 minutes, see if or I was gonna try to see if it would actually worked, because
Right.
last time we tried, it just would not work for me, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand, because years ago it worked fine for me, and
Right.
now it doesn't. Like with all the settings turned down, like I literally had all the settings turned down when we tried playing that one day. Like everything was low, and it just was not working. But anyways, yeah, the Omen thing though, it once you once you like play your time or whatever, you click back onto the app, and like it'll complete, and then it'll just send you an email with the digital gift card. And what is it they've had? They've had Burger King. I didn't get that one. I wasn't able to get that one because that, like, I guess was redeemed or expired or whatever before I could get around to that one. They've had, what is it? I think I talked about it last week. They had a Sephora one. It was weird.
Right.
Um, they've had Domino's, Buffalo Wild Wings. Target was is new, at least since I've been using this. They had Best Buy. So they got some good gift cards. Like for the most part, like play 30 minutes of this or 30 minutes of that. Like I was telling Stuart before we started, there was one there was one for a $10 Verve gift card, which that's a free month of Verve.
Right.
And the first time they did it, it was win one match of League of Legends. Did not work. Did
Yeah.
not get that one. See, I played PV I played the normal like stuff. Did not have any, it just did not work. Then tried to play like the versus computers, and we won a match of that. That didn't count though. I was hoping that that would have counted. but it didn't. That one was weird because that one, like, for the ones where it's just tracking your playtime, like nothing, you don't have to do anything. But with the win a match of League of Legends, you had to like go into the settings and like create a verification code or whatever, and then you had to put that verification code in the Omen command, whatever, so it could track like
Hmm.
attacks, like that one was a bit weird and frustrating to, but the other ones are just, you know, you just have the Omen command app on and then just bam. Um was it they've been sponsoring Achievement Hunter, like their
Right.
Friday streams,
Hmm.
and that's where I like discovered them. I think they were like, "Hey, you get a free Burger King gift card," and I'm like, "Oh, cool." And they were like, they were talking about other gift cards and stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome. I'll try this out. Why not?" And I've gotten a couple gift cards since, so awesome. But so that's why StarCraft 2 was, you know, that's why it showed I was playing that.
Would yeah.
Was it
Would
and Pantsa Stevie had commented about the League of Legends thing. Like he saw me playing League of Legends, and
friends don't let friends play League of Legends?
I mean, I don't have anything against MOBAs, but it's just like I was telling you, it was frustrating because for some reason, like like I'm not, godly. I would never say I'm godly or great at MOBAs, but I know I know how to play at MOBAs, and I quickly Googled like
With that,
easiest character.
with that, and that's after getting yelled at by Koreans.
Oh, that was so long ago though. Yeah, I played like Smite and stuff like that, and
Right.
I
Yeah.
love Smite. Smite is so good. Um, which was it? I think Smite has Ruby skins
I
in
heard
the
that.
game now. Yeah, which is kind of cool. They're not characters; they're just skins.
Their skins. Yeah.
So yeah, but I know enough not to get in people's ways and stuff like that. But like, it was frustrating because I was grouped up with people worse than me.
Which is not what you want.
No, not at all. And I maybe played like 4 or 5 matches and lost all of them, and that just take a while too. Matches can be pretty lengthy.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm done with this. And then when it was like there was a second offer for win 2 matches this time, I'm like, no, I'm not even trying. Forget that. But I guess the only other main thing I've been playing is more Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. What is it? The dungeon came out last week. Um, talked about that. They made some changes to the way you get what they're called pinnacle drops, which you're able to everyone with Shadowkeep. Everyone starts out at 750. Like everyone
Okay.
starts out at 750. So when you started it, Stuart, you were 750.
Okay. Yeah.
And the soft cap is 950. So like you know, you do powerful drops and stuff like that to get up to 950. Once you get to 950, the only thing that can level you up, like gear level, is the
Hmm.
pinnacle drops. And there are only a few of those. There's not a lot of opportunities to get those. And this was an issue with was it Iron Banner, which is the one of the PvP events they have. It's like a monthly PvP event. Um, that was it 2 weeks ago that came out, and there were bounties where you could get pinnacle drop or you can get pinnacle drops from doing the bounties, and there's stuff like, you know, get so many kills with your teammates assisting you. So like, you have to kill someone who's been shot at least once by your team,
Mm.
or capture so many zones because like the Iron Banner, like the play style is, you know, domination, or where you're capturing A, B, and C, or A, B, or C. Um, what's cool about that though, um, is in Iron Banner, if you capture all three, it goes to on the hunt, where it locks all three, and like you have like I can't like 20 seconds, 15-20 seconds to like, your team goes on the hunt to kill other people, and you get like so much extra points. So it actually benefits you to try to capture all three, unlike most domination type game modes where you just want to cap two, or else if you cap three, it'll, you know, change the spawn of the other team, and then, it gets all weird and stuff like that. So I like that. That's a pretty cool thing they've added. I think that's been in Iron Banner for a while, but that's a distinction they've made to the, you know, traditional like domination, capture 3 points, hold them type gameplay. But was it last Iron Banner? I remember I like did the pinnacle draw. I did my bounties and I turned them in, and they were all an energy. They were all the energy weapon slot. Like I think I turned in like 4 or 5, because there was also a glitch where it was like it was allowing you to get more than the 4 for the week, because I guess you're only supposed to be able to get 4 per week per character. But there was a weird thing where it was letting people get more than 4. So I think I turned in like 4 or 5, like, and I just got them all in the same slot.
Okay.
And that's not good, because the way the pinnacle thing is, like, you have to get, like, it only goes up 1. It's only a +1 to your overall light level. So you have to get all slots. You have or the way it was, you had to get all 8 slots, 3 weapons, 5 armor pieces. You have to get all those to 351 before you can get, a 352.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty bad grind. Like,
Sound,
it's
sounds
pretty
like it.
bad, especially when you have this event where you're like, okay, cool, 4 more pinnacle drops, and they all end up being the same slot. Pretty frustrating, and I think a lot of people had the same, complaints. So Bungie came out and said, "We're gonna fix this because we know this has been an issue, and pinnacle drops are now gonna be +2s. So you only need to theoretically get 4 different slots before your overall level goes up." So it's
Okay.
a lot
Sounds better.
easier, a lot easier, especially because there was a point where what was it? There was a point where I did all the pinnacle stuff, and or I did all the stuff outside the raid, and then I went to do the raid, and the raid doesn't drop a heavy weapon. You can't get a heavy weapon from the raid, and there was a point where it's like that was the only slot I needed. That was my last slot I needed. So it's like, crap. I'm screwed. There's no point in doing the raid this week, because I'm not going to get anything from it. I'm gonna get drops, but they're not gonna be anything beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a point where I was like, well, that kind of sucks. But yeah, this new system is good. I like it. Um, did they have the artifact where you're like, was it you level it up and it you unlock you unlock specific mods in it, and like there's a what is it? It's like a see if I can find a good image of it for you to look at. Here we go. Not what I wanted. No, that's not the link that I thought I copied. That
This is the Mandalorian.
was
Okay,
something
which
else.
I'm slightly disappointed in the latest trailer that he spoke.
I'm not watching the trailers, but yeah, I'm kind of disappointed I saw that because that would have been a cool moment. Like Ming Na Wen is gonna be in it,
Yeah,
but yeah, here's the image for it. Like you level it up and you unlock like you know each each point up to 12. I think you get 12 points. You're able to get a like you're able to there's a was it it's a 5 by 5
let's do
grid,
this.
and you're able to get like you unlock you unlock the first row, and you can you know pick whatever you want from it, and then you have to like pick so many things before the next row unlocks and stuff like that. And there's some stuff like you know some of the new mods where there are enemies that are like you know this weapon or this mod attack this mod is for I think it's hand cannon, submachine gun, and auto rifle. Yeah, hand cannon, submachine gun, uh, an auto rifle, and it can like shoot through. It makes
Oops.
your damage shoot through shields,
Okay.
which is very handy. And there are specific, they're called champions, where they have these mods, and you have or they have these like the icon for the mods above them, and you have to like use the weapons for them. Like there would be like uh was it the anti-barrier is like a triangle mod, and like you'll see a goblin who you'll shoot, and then it'll go into like if you stop doing damage to it, it'll go into like a kind of a shield phase, and then it'll start to regen its ammo, so you have to keep shooting at it and keep it from going into that phase. And then there's like unstoppable mod to against ogres who are just like aggressive, like they just book it towards you and shooting laser from their eyeball at you, and like it's bad time if you don't have that mod. And then there's another one, overload rounds. That's another one, but it kind of it's another like rock paper scissor type situation. Like, oh, you have these enemies, so you kind of need these mods to counteract them. I guess rock paper scissors isn't the correct thing for it, but match game, I guess, which they already have. Match game's already a modifier in the game, but anyways, then there are ones for like kill Vex Minotaurs and you'll get this material to drop, or you know throw void grenades and it creates a weakened spot. So like, you throw a void grenade at an enemy and then you shoot at it and it's all crit shots for the length of of that grenade's damage. Like so if it's a, continuous grenade where you throw it down and it just like continues for like 5 seconds or so, you have 5 seconds to shoot at that like enemy with whatever weapon and it's like crit damage.
Okay.
So there's some cool stuff like and they're saying like the artifacts gonna be reset each season and I don't know how crazy they're gonna get. I'm kind of predicting they're gonna switch some stuff out. Like, this season it's, you know, void grenades create that heavy or that weakened spot on them. So next season it might be solar and the anti-barrier rounds are available on SMGs. Next season it might be scout rifles, stuff like that. I don't
Hmm.
know if they're gonna I don't I see that because as much as I like Bungie and I want them to make more content, I don't think they're gonna just have a slew of all new stuff. Like I don't see that being feasible, especially since they're on their own now. They don't have a big company behind them helping them. So I see, I'm tempering my expectations. But once you max this out to the plus 12, you're able to keep leveling it up and get a plus 1 to your like light level. But it doesn't affect your gear score. So if you're like I said 950 and you have this you have this leveled up a plus 1 and you're 951, your gear's still the pinnacle drops are still going to only be 951. They're not going to be, or I guess 953 now, but it doesn't affect like your drops. It only affects like your damage output. So it's kind of confusing, I guess. Are you following it all? What I'm saying?
Somewhat.
The artifact does not affect your gear score loot. So
Oh,
like pinnacle
okay.
drops are now plus 2 to your overall light level, or I guess your overall maximum light level. You don't actually have to have the pieces equipped, but like if you say you're a 951 with all your max stuff, your pinnacle drop will be 953. But you could have a plus 10 to your artifact, so you're 961, but you're still only going to get 953 here. So it's like
Okay.
the artifact plus is the last thing. So you have your gear score and then the artifact is like a extra thing at the end. But your overall gear score can only like it's capped at 960, but the artifact level is I don't think it's capped because someone there was a weird thing with the lore people found like in the lore it said something about getting to like being a 999 power level and then soloing the first dungeon and you'll get the true ending of the what's it called the dreaming city because the dreaming city is in like is in a 3-week curse where it's 3-week cycle where it's cursed and all this and that and they kind of left it hanging like and saw this in the lore and stuff and was like oh that's cool and someone actually got to 999 this week and they they had never done the first raid like by themselves at all and they only ever did it being carried and it was kind of interesting because there was like two of the like two of the streamers who like do all the crazy challenges like you know solo this solo that raid boss with rock band drums all those crazy things they were coaching this guy because this guy offered one of he offered to let one of the guys use their accounts and they were like no you earned this you spent 200 hours grinding for to get to this and it's a significant increase, like, every time you level up, like, your artifact, like, past getting all the mods, just for the power increase, like,
Hmm.
it requires more XP the next time. I think I'm at like a plus 17 and it's like 1.8 million XP to get to plus 18 and I'm like, "Oh god. This is I can't I can't imagine the other guy getting to like a plus 40 something." Like that's just but that was a thing and the guy was coached by two of the best like, PvE players in Destiny and ended up beating it and nothing happened. That was kind of a disappointment, and Bungie
That
kinda, like
sucks.
they kind of addressed it a little bit and said, "Oh, well, this" and they've laid out some more lore lines or whatever saying, like, one of the one of the evil baddies, like, you know, set a trap and asked or set a trap with the other lore or whatever and, tricked us into getting that high in power and going through and beating the one boss for whatever reason. I don't know, but I wonder if like they actually have something planned for that, or they just weren't expecting someone to get to 999 this quick, you know,
Hmm.
or they just didn't have anything planned. Like it was kind of a disappointment because it was the interest it was interesting because apparently there's one guy who was like 997 and people were thinking he was going to be the one and then this random guy I think his username was Bagel.
Okay.
He just like he was like all of a sudden he was like, "Hey, I'm 999." So, it kind of came out of nowhere. Is people like I said, people were watching this other guy who was like apparently like an actual streamer and whatnot, but then this random person who doesn't really stream, I guess, like or doesn't stream much. So it was interesting, but um, yeah,
If
Iron
you don't
Banner's back
stream, you
though.
don't count.
You just imagine the most hardcore players are the ones who would be streaming too, though.
No, it tends to be the opposite. The hardest core players don't stream.
I guess, I don't know. It feels like if you're spending that much time doing all this craziness, like you'd think you'd stream anyways just to maybe have it catch on. I don't know. People like to watch, you know, people do crazy stuff in these type of games, but
Mm.
was it like I said, the Iron Banner's back again, which it was only 2 weeks ago, but technically it's a new month, so that was kind of weird. And like I said, they fixed the drops, but they were like, they didn't fix it at reset. They had said like last week they had said it would be fixed on Thursday. So it was like, okay, well, I got to play Destiny too, but don't do any of the pinnacle stuff because you're only until Thursday because you're only going to get +1 if you do versus the +2. So that was kind of a weird limbo, like for Destiny. Like
Yeah.
people were like, I guess I could do the Iron Banner stuff and just not turn in the bounties. Luckily, Bungie came out and said that would work. It wasn't
Okay.
like you're because people weren't sure whether or not the loot would like be determined by the time you complete or on the completion of the bounty or the bounty turn in.
Okay.
Because that's a weird thing. Like one of the raids for the first raid the raid for Forsaken at the when you beat the the first encounter of the final boss, you get a key to drop, and then when you beat the second encounter, you have a chest, or there's a room with like 20 different chests, and apparently like when the key drops, that determines the loot, not which chest you pick, which is kind of weird. Very very odd,
Yeah.
but that's like the only way to get one of the exotics in the game, which is a really cool exotic. But it, it's kind of weird. Like, so you never know with Destiny. Yeah, like you never know like how loot is determined because there's so much RNG and they're adding more RNG and it's kind of frustrating. But but yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff happening. Was it I think December is when the next season starts, and that's gonna be the real test to see how Bungie is. Been they've been putting out a lot of content, but for the season, but it's not. You also have the Shadowkeep drop with the season, so it's gonna be interesting to see what the next season's gonna be on its own, not with a big like you know $35 or 30 whatever you know
Mm.
September expansion drop, because they've been putting out a lot of content. Like every week, there's like a couple things, and like said last week, they released this like kind of wave based, you know, PVE event, public event, um, that wasn't even in the roadmap. Like, which is odd that because typically. You'd think they would be showing everything. Like, hey, you have this to look forward to. You have that, and then they had something like public event, wave based activity, like that they were just like, here, surprise. So I'm worried that a lot of people are expecting like this to be a norm, and I'm kind of like I said before, I'm tempering my expectations. That
Mm.
seems to be
Mm-hmm.
another thing I'm doing because Bungie has shown like in the past more times than not they can't keep up the amount of content that the fan base wants. And now that they're on their own, that's, you know, even more of a concern. But yeah, but there's that and that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. Well, looks like the only bit of news we got this week is to talk about BlizzCon, which hmm, everyone was wondering going into BlizzCon what like how if or how they were going to address the elephant in the room. Because there's two ways of dealing with something like what happened um, with that Hearthstone tournament. There was either ignore it completely or apologize, and they did neither.
They kind of did half of both.
Yeah, it was yes. They did half. Yeah, they split the middle. They addressed it, but did not apologize.
Well, they no, they
Uh,
apologized,
no, no,
but
no,
they didn't do
no,
anything
no.
about it.
No, 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 they did not apologize. That was the thing. It's like
Well,
Jalen
they
Brack
said
went
we're
up there.
sorry this happened. Like,
It was that was kind of like I take full blame. There are so many. Here at BlizzCon, there are so many countries here. Um, and the world's world of gamers. Kind of. We should and judge us by our actions. Here's Diablo 4. Like it was kind of that was kind of a judge us by our actions, which our actions were did nothing. They did nothing.
well, and they also doubled down on the like, oh, we're sorry, but it was a political statement that was made, and we don't want that to be on our platform and whatnot, and all this and
Hey,
that.
guess
And
what?
so
Hey,
it's
guess
like,
what?
okay, the next winner, if he thanks
Jalen Brack
God,
was wearing a fucking rainbow pin.
Yeah, but like if the next person wins and he thanks God or whatever, are they gonna ban him? Because under these rules, like you kind of have to, right?
I don't. You just.
And
It's.
just came across our headline: Overwatch game development disagrees with Blitzchung suspension 1
Yeah.
hour ago on Polygon.
I
So
think
like,
I
still
think
going
he
on.
came out earlier than that. I think he came out earlier this week. So
Yeah, maybe he's touched on it even more. I don't know.
maybe. Yeah,
It's odd.
it is very odd. Um, yeah, I just they did not. That was definitely a letdown for the fans because that didn't get by anybody. Like everybody called bullshit
It's
on that statement.
it made me feel like they were like the little kid who's like gets in trouble or gets caught doing something and he says he's sorry and it's like, are you sorry you did it or are you sorry you
You're
got
sorry you
caught?
got caught. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
kind of makes me.
We're sorry this is an issue for you. That's kind of what that statement was. We're sorry you're upset. So it was definitely bullshit.
Real quick, what I saw like kind of in the esports type subject. I want to say I saw a car commercial with some esports player.
What?
I don't know who it was, but it was like it showed like the like esports gamer or whatever, and like I guess they were done and they got into a car and they were driving, and it was like Honda or Hyundai or something like that. It was the weirdest thing. I'm like, wait,
That's
what?
kind of cool. That's kind of cool.
What?
Not gonna lie.
Trying to look this up. I can't like.
But yeah, kind of moving on. Like they had four kind of big announcements at the opening ceremony. Three of which even matter. Um, one of course was Diablo 4, which we knew this was coming. But honestly, like it didn't look like any better than like Diablo 3. Like it just kind of looked like more Diablo 3 to me.
Yeah.
Um and I didn't really even care for Diablo 3, so there's even that. Um and they announced the next expansion for World of Warcraft, which is Shadowlands, which this year is the 15th anniversary of World of Warcraft.
Oh wow.
And uh, and judging by kind of how World of Warcraft expansions go, which is bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, this one's supposed to be a good one because the last one was terrible, just terrible. And that's not to say the story was bad, because that has gone up. You know, the story has gotten better since the second expansion when they actually decided to actually do a story, and it's just gotten better and better. But the gameplay of like BFA just sucked, and I didn't like it at all. That's why I quit. And honestly, it's what I've seen so far. I don't think I'm going to go back. This is the first expansion that I'm not looking forward to. And
That's interesting.
honestly, it like playing, Final Fantasy 14, a game that looks great, and then going back and looking at World of Warcraft, like, this is really starting to show its age, like more so than it has in the past. It really doesn't look good. Like, mobile games look better than this.
That's yeah, interesting. I
And
guess that's true. Yeah, because you look at like Fortnite, that's on mobile. That looks. I imagine that looks better
yeah, I mean,
than
they
WoW.
went with the cartoony look, which tends to stretch the age of kind of how well the game looks. I mean, you look at Team Fortress 2, and honestly, the look of that game still holds up because of the kind of art style that they went with. But World of Warcraft, I don't know, it's getting a bit long in the tooth. It mm, I would honestly be surprised if they see a huge jump in subscribers when this launches. So
Yeah, there's. I mean, they were the biggest game in the world at one point, but
yeah, now I don't even think they're the biggest MMO anymore.
really, wow.
I think and it's hard to tell because nobody gives out subscription numbers anymore. But I think Final Fantasy 14 is bigger. I think it has surpassed.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be. I'm curious on what's gonna happen to WoW. But the other thing that was announced was Overwatch 1.5. Let's not even call it Overwatch 2. That's 1.5. Because the only thing that Overwatch 2 is adding is a PvE stuff and story. Other than that, there is nothing about Overwatch 2 that, if you want the story and the PvE stuff, Overwatch 2. But if you don't want that stuff, stick with Overwatch, because all the stuff they're adding to Overwatch 2 you can still use all the characters they're going to add, all the not, there's one mode that is exclusive to Overwatch 2.
Yeah. Are the characters going to be in Overwatch 1? The new ones?
Yes.
Because the new skins are not going to be available in Overwatch 1.
Maybe
I just
not,
heard that
but characters
times.
are.
So,
Characters are. They
okay.
they said that on stage.
Okay, yeah.
Characters, maps, all that kind of stuff is, you're still gonna be able to play it with using in Overwatch 1, and you'll be playing with Overwatch 2 players, which is interesting because they said that Overwatch 2 has a new engine. So how that works, I don't know.
Yeah. And
Like whether if it has to be just a graphical engine and not a physics engine.
I guess, I don't know. Even then, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see different things if you're playing Overwatch 2 than you would Overwatch 1. I don't know. But and what's really funny is, like, oh yes, and look, All the characters have been redesigned. They look exactly the fucking same. Like, it looks like a new skin. Like, it doesn't look any different than like.
I mean, this is Blizzard testing the waters and seeing people love Overwatch. They'll buy anything. So you know, let's gather up all the seasonal holiday PVE modes we've released over the last couple years. Let's package them all
Which were
together.
good. Which were good.
Let's add. So, hopefully, they're adding cutscenes along with that stuff.
It looks like they are. There was an
Which
image I
I just
saw. It was
why not
just
just make it
close
make
up
a TV
of
show?
Tracer. I know.
That's got to
Like
be cheaper to do, right? Than to add than to create PVE campaign type stuff, like,
don't know.
right?
No, I don't know. Might not be.
Like, I'm sure they could partner it out to like Netflix or someone. I'm sure one of those people would be like, "Oh, okay, let's jump on this. We'll love to have Overwatch show on our platform." Like, because that's what everyone wants, right? Like, you see those like little clips they've released, and people are like, that would make a really cool TV show if they ever did that. Because Blizzard and their
This is
cinematic stuff have always been great.
Hanzo. Overwatch 1 is on the left, Overwatch 2 is on the right. Can you really tell a difference? Like, that just looked like a new skin.
I guess I don't know. Yeah.
Like, honestly, it looks like they took off his sleeve on the left there and just mirrored it.
Pretty much.
I
Looks like
don't
less stuff. Mm. I don't see much difference. Like,
yeah, I don't either. But yeah, it's just like I don't see the difference, but in how the characters look. Um, one of the cool things though with Overwatch 2 and the PvE stuff is like there's going to be like talent trees that allow like the abilities to like work it differently, which I think maybe they should pull that into multiplayer.
oh, but then
Like
you're adding
have
all kinds of different stuff they have to test for, and you
well I
know,
yeah, I mean like I actually have like different kind of like have abilities work differently, depending on it adds another level of strategy. I mean, how old is Overwatch? 5 years?
it's only like 3 years.
Okay, well, it was announced 5 years ago.
I want to say it was
3 years.
2016. Yeah, 2016.
Yes, it was 2016. Yeah, it was announced five years ago. Um, but yeah, I mean, it would add something. I mean, not like Overwatch's, you know, dying or anything like that, because it is definitely not.
Yeah, still a big fan base.
There's a huge fan base, and and there's also the Overwatch League, which is now traveling.
And
That was kind of interesting news. It's gonna have home away games.
they announced that a while ago, didn't they? I
Well,
want to say
I
it
don't know if
was like,
I don't know if they did, but that was one of the things that they mentioned on stage.
yeah. I want to say they mentioned that like couple months ago, or I heard that a couple months ago. But yeah, I mean that's something you have to have in the works for a while if you're gonna do something
Yeah,
like that. So yeah, but
and
and
this
was that
this will be the first esports to do something like that.
Yeah. I saw a lot of people were like after they like deleted their Blizzard accounts in protest, they were like, "How do I revert the? How do I undelete it so I can
How do I
go
get all
back
my
and
stuff back?
play like
Well, you
Overwatch and
were an
stuff like
idiot.
that?"
You were an idiot that going, I protest Blizzard, delete my account. Oh fuck, I went back in. It's like, well, you fucked up.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. I try not to get too outraged. Like it's hard to get me outraged, like to where I'm like gonna boycott something.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the
I'll
latest
step
thing
away
that
for some for a while, but not
the latest thing that
completely.
really got me angry was the Apex thing. Like, and I'm
Oh yeah,
still upset
and
about that.
you're gone. You haven't even come back.
Well, that's just because other stuff came out, and I was playing I was playing Borderlands, and then Destiny's new stuff. So, like, I was still playing. Like, I wasn't like Pantsless Steve, who when that stuff happened, he quit right then and there. I was still playing. Like when Outrage though. It's just other stuff happened, and I kind of don't feel the need to go back quite yet. But duos, I'll definitely play some duos this weekend. But I logged back on to see that the latest the Halloween event, and when I saw you couldn't even earn packs, like the one event, the
But
race event,
you could earn skins though. That's at least that you could earn skins.
yeah, but I mean, you, you you could, but you still couldn't earn the like they they made a they had a they had their what's it called their plan for their event set out, laid out,
Mm-hmm.
and people were upset about it. Their next event similar to it, they do the same thing but worse because they take away the two free packs you can earn. So it's like, okay, I would still like those two free packs, like that you can earn if you're gonna do the same thing you did before. You know, stay on par at least. Don't get worse. That's my whole thing to it. But it's I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's such a fun game to play. It really is. But the whole microtransaction thing is really pretty bad. Like,
It is.
and
It's bad.
it's not even micro. That's the thing.
No,
And like I would say the skins are like some of the skins are cool, but still I don't they're still not on the par of like a Fortnite type skins.
no, but and part of me doesn't want them to do something like that because of Epic's work condition. Or yeah, I don't I don't condone that at all. And I applaud that Respawn is fighting against that kind of
Well, they're saying
work
they
condition.
are. Who knows if that's just an excuse so that they can not put out as I don't know.
If
It gets
if if
weird.
if it is, I don't. I'd have a hard time believing that somebody in the company wouldn't speak up.
I don't know. You had so many people in the company like insulting the fan base. Remember when that like oh my god,
That was one guy. No, no, it was
there was a
two
couple
guys.
people.
Two
Yeah.
guys did it.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It's
But there's that's a very large team. So
and that's the thing. Like you had this is like EA's only big or this is like well no not only big but like this is like EA's like exclusive shooter right now, right? Like
I
this is
mean,
way bigger than Battlefield. I would say.
Yeah,
So, do you think they would like put more resources? Like, I'm not, I've never said, I've never said like they should work, overtime or anything, but like put more resources on this stuff. You know, you can
that's
produce more
you
content without having to go into crunch or
right,
having to
but
be horrible.
that costs more money though. I mean, there is a balance. Yeah,
Well, I mean,
resources cost money, but is that worth, but are you bringing in enough to warrant spending more on resources?
if they did that at the launch, like when they saw, oh, this is big, people are really liking this. This is, people are playing this and watching. This is, you know, bigger than Fortnite right now. Like if they would have jumped at that moment, I think we'd be talking about
Except
Apex in a different light.
and then you have a problem of when they do catch up and start slowing down, you would see 30, 40 people have been laid off at respawn. We would see that kind of news.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows if the
mm,
momentum kept going? Maybe they, you know, be on par with Epic and Fortnite. Because look at
I
Fortnite; they're
doubt
still
it.
going.
I honestly
They're
doubt
still
that.
going. They're still going strong because they were, because they, for whatever reason, whether they go into crunch, whether their conditions are terrible, which I don't know what to think. Like I'm just shocked of how much sheer content they're able to produce for Fortnite. It's just baffling. And before Fortnite, you would be like, "Oh yeah, EA definitely has more resources than Epic, to compete." But now it's like, I don't know. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, look how many. Yeah, but Epic is smaller than Blizzard, so it's got a more laser focused. So it can put all of its resources into Fortnite, where EA is kind of more spread out. They've got a lot more companies. They
and
can't
they're
just
failing at a
focus
lot of
all of the
stuff that
resources onto one. They can't do that.
but they're failing at a lot of stuff. Like a lot of their we've talked
Which
about this at the
which
beginning of the
unfortunately
year.
which is going to lead to closures and people being out of jobs.
Yeah, like, Anthem was supposed to be this big thing and it fell like flat
I'm
and
so worried for Dragon Age 4. Almost said 5. It's 4.
and
Which there's rumors that we may hear some news about Dragon Age 4 next month.
well, they there was now they talked about it in a conference call, didn't they?
It's rumors. It's rumors. It's not official yet.
I thought they talked about it in a conference call, like it's coming out in like 3 years, or it's far away.
Well,
It's like
we're gonna see something. We're gonna see an official announcement.
okay, yeah,
Like
gotcha.
next month, we're gonna see an official announcement. But yes, and from kind of what that conference call said, it's going to be 3-4 years before we see
Yeah,
Dragon
'cause
Age 4, which is good because
they've got to knock it out of the park, and with the next gen consoles, like they've got to make sure it's running smooth.
the
So
whole
yeah,
idea was they were going to take the engine that they used for Anthem and build Dragon Age 4 from that, and what became of Anthem was like, oh no, we need to fucking start over. We need to not do that. So
yeah, it's crazy. Like if EA didn't have you know FIFA money, they'd be in some serious trouble. I think
yeah, uh,
they have a lot of they have a lot of devs that are have not performed. Like games have not
right, yeah,
done well for them.
like Bioware, because like I said, like I'm so worried they're gonna close if Dragon Age 4 fails. They need to pull off a SquareSoft or a Bethesda from this. Like, because like Squaresoft came out with Final Fantasy. That's why it's called Final Fantasy, because it was a if this fails too, we're gonna close. Bethesda was the same way with Morrowind. If this fails, we're gonna close. And both of those games knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. It's I don't know, it's interesting. We're in a crazy world.
Yeah,
Like you tell us this, you tell our past selves this stuff like 4 years ago, like we would not believe ourselves. I don't think all the stuff that's come out and happened, like
yeah,
it's, it's pretty crazy. But
yeah. Like, oh,
uh
and also Death Stranding is gonna be bad. So, oh no, I
oh, and Kojima's gonna make movies now, but that's a bad thing, right? How could he make a movie?
he
Like,
can't. There's no way he can make a movie.
I mean, his cutscenes are like longer than
30 minutes long.
he's longer than some seasons of TV shows.
That's a bit much, but yeah, they're long.
No, I like Metal Gear Solid 4. There was a cutscene that was over an hour long. One cutscene.
Right,
I'm
but
not kidding. Like
I think
one
yeah, I remember.
cutscene.
Yeah, but that's not longer than seasons of TV shows.
No, no, I'm saying the cutscenes in the game equate to longer, like all of them together.
Mm,
I'm not saying it was 1 hour like for all the cutscenes. I'm saying it was 1 hour like
no, no,
you
yeah,
played.
it was 1 hour
Yeah,
for that one cutscene. Yeah,
yeah, because I mean, the way TV is now, you got what 8, 10 episodes that are like 45 minutes each. Like there's Kojima's games have a lot of cutscenes. I could see him maybe making TV shows, but not a two even 3 hour movie. Like
yeah, it holds the longest. It holds the Guinness World Record for the longest cutscene.
how long is that?
71 minutes.
Man, that's a long for one cutscene. Oh yeah.
Oh
It's
no, I'm sorry. It's 27 minutes. It's the longest cutscene in a video game at 27 minutes. The longest cutscene sequence in a video game is 71 minutes, which is that.
What's the difference? Like I guess it's just switches scenes, but it's still part of the same cutscene.
Yeah.
Okay, that's seems like semantics, right? Like
Trying to find
you
out. 9 hours.
uh,
MGS4 has 9 hours of cutscenes.
yeah, you take what, like I said, 8 to 10 episodes for like a Netflix or Amazon show, or one of those type of shows. If at like 45 minutes, like was it? I was telling you that Daybreak show is 45 minutes, or it's like 10 episodes, and it's like 45 minutes an episode. So yeah, that's more than that whole season of Daybreak. Is But like the point is like him trying to do a 2 hour movie,
No, he
make it a
doesn't. He
3 hour
doesn't know
movie.
how
Like
to. Yeah, he doesn't know how to be subtle
those are
and
just the
not
cutscenes. That's not even like the
what happens
it, the
in
narrative
story
he's in
in
game.
game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's crazy. It really is. So, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about that, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, sure.
yeah.
Kojima movies, right? Anyways, anything else with BlizzCon?
No, not worth mentioning. At least that I like. There was a Hearthstone thing that I just did not care for whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know. I like card games, but I just haven't been able to get into like Hearthstone or Gwent or those type of card games, you know?
I prefer card building games rather than TCG games, because card builders, you got everything you need in right there. TCGs, you have to buy packs.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, like I agree in a way, but I don't know. It's
Like a
I
example
guess
of a card builder game is like Munchkin. Like you don't everything you need is right there. You don't need to buy you don't need to buy the expansions, but you can.
I was thinking
And
more of like Yu-Gi-Oh. Play the shit
that's a
out of Yu-Gi-Oh.
TCG. That's a
Yeah, but
TCG.
like that's just more complex than you know games like Hearthstone or stuff like that. Went
I think you mean confusing.
Yu-Gi-Oh. You think it's more confusing?
Yeah.
I mean, yes. I don't
It's
know.
absolutely more confusing than Hearthstone.
Like I said,
Hearthstone is
I would say
very
more
simple.
complex. Yeah. I don't know. There's Yu-Gi-Oh's still going strong, so doing something right. I think I
Is it
saw there's
though?
an even a I think I saw there's a new anime for it even. And I'm like, "Oh god, this is ridiculous." Like, really?
Weren't they like on the backs of motorcycles battling at one point?
That was 5D, I want to say. Yeah.
What the freaking frick?
That was some weird stuff. I think I tuned in to and I watched watch it once because this was back when like Saturday morning cartoons were still a thing, I think. And
Right.
I was like, "Nope, I'm out. This is too much. This is
I
dumb."
have missed some plot points.
It was a completely new like thing too. It had nothing to do with besides I guess the card game in itself had nothing to do with the previous Yu-Gi-Oh show.
Right.
Never got into the Pokemon trading card game though. I collected the cards, but I never actually played the game.
I had some of the cards, yeah.
I didn't really even know anyone who like actually played the game.
I didn't either.
I was always collecting the cards, but no one ever actually played the game.
I think we tried once in elementary school, but then cards got banned because that's poker. We could no longer bring cards to school because it was poker.
That's not true though.
Doesn't matter.
Um Played Magic for a little bit. That's confusing. Magic is confusing.
I tried to learn magic.
Magic gets crazy. Confusing. I guess Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't like I was it was more it was less confusing cuz I watched the show. So you had the basis, you had the concept, but
Right.
even then the show and the actual
even
game in
even
real
then,
life
when
were
you try to
different.
use the rules from the show, somebody's gonna yell at you.
Because the rules in the show weren't the official rules. Yeah.
Right.
It's like the life points were different and couldn't do this or couldn't do that or yeah, it was crazy, but um oh, wait, was it I think I did fire up Apex to look at it. They have a firing range now? When did that happen?
Oh, did they change that? Okay.
Yeah,
That
because
was
I saw next to training there was firing range, and I'm like, this happened a while ago, and I just didn't know,
uh,
or
I remember them talking about it. You can go in it with more than one person,
yeah, because I'm seeing an article that's saying
and
Apex Legend now has a firing range, so you can improve without being murdered.
right, and you can have your the attachments.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, so you can go in and actually test out guns and stuff like that, and
Right, and
I guess abilities.
yes, or like like using combos um with different characters. So
That's cool. They're doing some stuff. It's still a little baffling that it's like, why isn't solo and duos just like a permanent thing?
oh,
You know?
that's not. You want to talk about baffling? Battlefield 5 came out with their Pacific stuff, like Pacific maps and all that stuff. And last week they took away the Pacific playlist. Why the fuck would you do that? Why would you take away the thing you just added? And the reason this whole like season, they call them chapters, but this whole season was based off of, and you just took it away. Like, and it wasn't even like it's like, oh no, we took it out to fix something. No, no, no. It's a rotation. It wasn't in rotation anymore. Like, hold on, what?
Yeah, who knows?
And also, they tend to rotate out their most popular mode, which is rush or front lines. Like they tend to rotate those out. It's like, with that, fucking give us private servers that you promised a half a year ago, and so we can make
Yeah,
our own servers and have our actually have the stuff we want to play.
yeah. It's like I said, EA they're doing some EA things. The reason why they've been voted worst company a couple times.
Twice, yeah.
Either them or Bank of America, it seems.
Yes. Although I
Anyways,
think I
yes,
think this year Facebook might get up there.
really.
Oh,
Wow.
have you not heard about anything from Facebook?
I don't Facebook. No. I still have one, but like I don't really ever
The only reason I still have
use
a
it.
Facebook is for Extra Life every year. Otherwise, I would 100% delete my Facebook.
Yeah. I have it just like maybe one day I'll need to get in touch with someone in my past or
Maybe
I don't know.
one day Facebook's going to install some spyware on my computer. Maybe one day.
I mean, I don't
I'm
ever go on
I'm
it,
not
so
saying
I don't.
they do that now, but they want to get all the information they can from you so they can sell it to everybody.
Oh, have
And
I ever
they're not
told you
gonna
about
and they're not gonna fucking deny it.
have I ever told you about my pack story regarding Facebook?
Maybe. Yes, you have. Yes,
That was some
yes.
scary shit. That was some that was one of those moments where I was like, "Oh, this shit is scary." Brief for people who haven't heard about this. I went to PAX East a few years ago, and I was with a friend. I met up with a friend, and we were hanging out all during PAX East, and we didn't have any common friends on Facebook, like because I don't really, I only use Facebook for like local friends or friends in the past of high school to, or that's what I did use it for. I don't use it at all, but we had no common friends at all. And it like after like the second day or so, it was like it recommended like my one friend, and I'm like, oh, this it's tracking our locations and sees that we're together, and maybe we want to. Oh, this is kind of scary shit. Like
Yup.
this is this is this is pretty weird, but yeah. But yeah, uh I guess that's it. We
Yeah.
managed to talk a bunch, considering not a lot of we only had one real news topic. We're good at talking. We're good at talking about nothing a lot.
Yeah. About nothing. Yes. We can do that.
Alrighty. This has been episode 365 of the Geeks for the Win podcast. You can find all the previous episodes at thegeeksftw.com with links to our Twitch, YouTube, Discord, and Twitter. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at thegeeksftw. Stuart is at Casual Terror, and I'm at Geeky William. And we will catch you next time.
And remember, no animals were harmed in making this podcast.
I spent a lot of the time when you brought up the Omen Command Center. I spent a lot of your Destiny talk trying to get it to fucking work because I installed it. I was like, oh, we need your location to see what kind of rewards you can get. Okay, my location is turned
Yeah,
on.
like,
You need
you have to
to
have
turn
Wi-Fi
on your
on?
Wi-Fi. Like, I don't have fucking
Yeah,
Wi-Fi. It's a desktop.
it's weird. Even though it's not connect, like my desktop has Wi-Fi, but
Mine doesn't.
like it has Wi-Fi built. The motherboard has it built in, but like I have it turned on, but it's not connected. It's connected through. But for some reason, it still needs to have it turned on so it works. Or there's like a mobile thing you can do. I think.
And yeah, that's yes. You have to download the mobile app and then do that.
That was it. My desktop has like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
I mean, like it told me to like, hey, go into your Windows settings and turn on your location. So okay, I did that. You need to turn on your Wi-Fi. I don't have Wi-Fi. Turn on your Wi-Fi. I don't have. Turn it on. Damn it.
Or do the mobile thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, Jason Momoa, what have you done?
Oh no, what has he done?
Jason Momoa has seen the Snyder Cut and thinks the public needs to see it. When will that end? Like, will it ever end?
No, it won't.
It's ridiculous when, like, fans were putting up billboards at Comic-Con, released the Snyder Cut.
It's a shitty movie. It's gonna still be shitty.
It was a bad
There's
movie.
nothing to save that
Like,
movie.
none of those movies have been, like, well, Man of Steel, not good. Right?
No.
Pretty bad. Like, goes against a lot of what the character, like, the way they handled his dad, like
Yeah,
Jonathan Kent.
that
No,
was not.
that was
No.
bad. Yeah. Um, Batman versus Superman, not good.
That was really bad.
Martha, why'd you say that name? Seriously? Like, oh, it's so dumb. Oh, that was the first time I realized that both their like
Yeah,
parents'
I didn't realize
names
that either.
both
I
their
had
mother's name was
it.
Martha.
it never occurred to me that both of their mother's names were
Like
Martha.
it didn't really matter. Like
No, it didn't.
like but they made it matter somehow. Like I don't know. Yeah, and then the Justice League was not good. And I enjoyed Wonder Woman, but watching it, like I said, watching it a second time, like that movie does not hold up that second time as much. Especially that last act. Like, it would have been so much better when she killed the one dude if it would have just been, and she noticed the war was still going on. If that just would have been like it, and you didn't have the actual Ares, you know, fight, which was bad and ridiculous, you know.
Yeah,
When she killed that dude and thought it was Ares and was all, like confused, like because the war was still going on and she thought it was gonna stop. I was like, this is really cool. This is like this is an interesting take on it. Like he's actually realizing that it's not just the God of War's fault. Like humans, us Earthlings, are like actually this is because of us. Like you can't just kill something and make this whole thing go away. Like I thought that was a cool thing, and then it was like, oh no, here's Ares, and it's a ridiculous. Like it, God, it just looks so bad.
yeah.
It was so bad. Do do do. Shazam was a good kids movie.
I enjoyed Shazam.
It was a good kids movie, I'd say.
I enjoyed it.
You know, family movie, aimed for the kids, but you could still watch. There's still stuff for it, but yeah, it was good. Aquaman, I've heard mixed things to where I don't even know if I want to watch Aquaman.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah.
One of my um I guess challenges for Omen is to play Fortnite for 30 minutes to get a 3-month subscription to Atomic? Utomic?
Wait,
Never heard of
what?
it.
I don't know if I have that.
Well, they're based on location.
I mean, it says that, but I'm not quite sure if like it actually is or not. If they just want your location information, you know.
And I have another
'Cause
one for White Castle.
I don't have I don't have a Sephora anywhere near me, but I was still able to get that to pop up, you know. It's definitely got some bugs. Like I've had to go in like the app setting like for like you right click on it instead of like and it's like open as open or run as admin and stuff like that. I have to go to like app settings and like reset it because sometimes it just like won't load. Hey, free Target gift card, free Domino's gift card for doing really nothing. Sure.
Yeah, I got to see is a 3-month subscription to Atomic, which I'd never heard of before. And looking at what it is, it's kind of it's a subscription service for just for games. Yeah, and some of the games is like Batman Arkham Asylum, um, yeah, Borderlands. Yeah, it's kind of Game Pass kind of a thing. But like over half these games, like these looks like shitty mobile games.
I mean, you gotta start with something, like kind of like how On Live was. Like, oh, there's a couple games that are like kind of cool but old, and then there's a lot of crap. Ultimately, why it failed.
Like these, like what the hell are these?
Oh yeah.
There's like flash games you would find on some website, like, oh, here's, Disney princesses clean their feet, pick the gunk out of their feet. Like, ugh.
The only thing I have right now is like it requires to have an actual Omen PC. Like here, the sweepstake can be, get a entered to win if you create and assign 5 macros using the Omen Command
The
Center,
command center,
or
yeah, I have that one,
connect
and I have
different Omen
one.
accessories.
Yeah, I have that one too. I have a Captain M accessory, whatever Captain M is. It's like a little plushie. Play
I had
Ring
that
of
earlier, but it's
Elysium
not
for
there
30
anymore.
minutes.
Yeah.
Then I have that Atomic, and then I have one for White Castle. And that's play
Gotta
League
get
of
them.
Legends.
Just play it?
Just play it.
Man, why wasn't that for the Verve? I would have gotten that. Like, I just played it.
It doesn't even
$5
say for
try to
how.
get
It doesn't even
card.
say like play for 30 minutes. It just says play.
Really? Weird. So I guess.
And also I have to go into the learn more to figure out what fucking game it wants me to play. Otherwise, it just says 5 cheese sliders.
Wait, you get 5 cheeseburger sliders for.
Yes.
Not just like a gift card? That's kind of interesting. You don't have White Castle.
I've got one down the road. That I've not even been to since I moved here.
Never been to a White Castle. Went to a Crystals, which is like
I heard
basically the
it's
same
similar.
thing. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, like Florida, there was like a Crystals, and I'm like, oh, that's close enough, I guess. Only White Castle I ever had was like the frozen ones you get from the grocery store.
Mm.
Only because my mom was obsessed with those. That'd
White
be like,
Castle is the only hamburger that is okay heated up in a microwave. Like it really is. It's the only one that's all right heated up.
I mean, because it's like paper thin meat, and
Yes.
like new Doctor Stone comes out today, or came out.
Yeah.
That is such a good show. Like I remember I heard someone talk about that show on like I think it was the IGN Xbox podcast. They have a female writer or staff member or whatever who was talking, who's like big in anime and all that stuff, I guess, and she was talking about it, and I was like, this sounds dumb. Everyone turns into stones and stone statues and blah 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 and other. But it's kind of like it's interesting because I'm sure you've had the thought of like if you went back in time somehow or whatever, could would your knowledge be able to like would you have the knowledge of all this technology and stuff, but can
Right.
you replicate anything like
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
or or like I like was it like uh, kind of a dumb movie but Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
They had the second in the second one, what was it? Craig Robinson's character was like became like a pop star because he had like taken like Britney Spears songs and other popular songs and like released them before they were ever were released and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I could remember most of the lyrics to a lot of popular songs and stuff like that. But yeah, it's interesting, and I wonder if the science behind Dr. Stone is like actually if they actually did research on.
I don't know. I mean, at the
Is
end,
this,
there's the disclaimer saying, "Hey, don't try any of these stuff that we talk about in
oh,
real
of course
life."
not. Yeah, of course not. I mean, they have to put that, but it's like you look at when he made the soda. It's like, yeah, that's ingredients for that would actually be true. Like in theory, you could make soda that way. So it makes me think about other stuff, like, huh, I wonder if they actually did research or not on. It's just weird. Like an anime slash, it's probably a manga, right?
Probably.
Like being so heavy into science and breaking down steps like that, you'd think they'd have to do some research. Like they couldn't like come up with all that stuff off the top of their heads, I would think, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's entertaining. Oh, was it last week's? Was they focused on his dad and all that?
Right. Yeah.
So it's
It
like
was why they knew, like
why
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 the
the village is named
priestess
after.
knew, right, and why the village is named after him.
Yeah, interesting. It's smart anime. I that no guns life just sounds dumb.
I watched the first 30 seconds of it and was like, I'm not in the mood for this.
Like the guy has a gun on for his face,
For a
for his
head.
head. Yeah, like what?
Like and it's
Oh, he's so embarrassed about sexual whatever.
oh that I
Apparently,
like I said, I only watched 30 seconds of it, but it's like a
I
oh,
only
what's the
know from
word?
fan service
Right, yeah.
podcast.
Um how hard it's like a hard boiled detective kind of a noir ish kind of like I was like that was the feel I got from like the first 30 seconds. It's like I'm not
Yeah.
quite in the mood for this.
See, I just One Piece, right? It's has so many episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and even dubbed. I'm
Yeah.
looking and it's at like over 500 episodes dubbed. Why can't why uh, why can't they do that with Detective Conan?
Oh, dub all those episodes.
Like I love Detective Conan. Like I remember watching it on like Toonami back in the day, like
Right.
late at night, and then when I realized, oh, it's got all these episodes and it's not even gonna ever get dubbed, like, well, that's disappointing and depressing. But that's a really good detective anime. Like, and it's had like 900 something episodes, right?
Oh no. One Piece is.
I think Detective Conan is at like 900 and
It's over 1,000.
oh, it is? Okay. Well, I think maybe last I looked it was at 900.
Like that's kind of what I'm looking. That's what I'm looking up right now. Is like where they at now?
Wait, this can't be right.
Oh no.
957. This anime is saying there's
I
900 or 862 dubbed episodes. No, this isn't right at all. Yeah, okay, here we go. It's
957. I'm wrong. I thought it was in the thousands already.
and there's like they make movies on it every year and stuff like that, and they
There
did do
are
Lupin the
23
Third
films.
versus Detective Conan. Forgot about
Yup.
that. That's one that's like I really like it, and I could watch all the ones that are dubbed, but like, what's the point? Because it's never gonna, you know, we're
So you
never
should
gonna
just
see all of it
watch
dubbed.
the sub. Watch the sub then.
That's a lot of episodes to have to focus and read subtitles for, though. You can't do anything else when you're watching subbed.
True.
Like, I remember the Dragon Ball Super. I had to make sure that was all I was doing. I wasn't doing anything else. That was kind of difficult because that.
Usually why I watch sub when I'm like going to bed and stuff. So
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna get off. Gotta pee. So
Gotcha. Yeah, I gotta still get something to eat. So yeah,
I
let me
will
know when you want
talk
me
to
to
you.
do
Yeah,
those.
yeah, probably sometime tomorrow or something. I know my sister also wants to play duos too.
Okay, just like I
So
said, hit me up. I should be around tomorrow.
all right, I'll let you know. Talk to you later.
Later.